Our nation's sports show. This week on a nation's sports show, there's not just one show. There's two live shows taking place this week. With so much happening in the world of sports, another wild NFL weekend has come and gone. The NBA regular season starts tomorrow night, and the World Series is set. It begins on Friday. The New York Yankees and the Los Angeles Dodgers will face each other on the biggest stage in baseball. Tonight, I bring to you my Week 7 analysis in the NFL, plus my picks during our prediction battles. For Week 8, it's showtime.
Good up to the court, talking all that is sport, breaking down the latest news, scores, and more. Welcome to our Nation Sports Show.
For the first time in a long time, it is a double dip of live sports coverage this week. What is going on this evening, everybody? Here live at 5 for a rare Monday edition of our Nation Sports Show here on YouTube. I am your host, riding solo this evening, Stephen Wyand. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the world of sports. Oh, man, what a week of sports it was this week. But before I get to all of that, I do want to plug the social media platforms up first on Twitter at ON_sports show, Facebook.com/Nation Sports Show, and where I am currently live at 5 on a rare Monday on YouTube.com/Nation Sports Show. And oh man, what a crazy week of sports it was this week. And before I even get to all of that, I do want to do a quick concert recap for you guys. So Friday, I went to the Cole Auditorium in Hamlet, North Carolina. Country band from the 90s, Diamond Rio, was playing up there, and they sounded phenomenal. I mean, just incredible vocals, incredible harmonies. They played all their big hits, and what was really cool is they did a mashup, a medley of songs from their catalog, and the medleys were very well put together. And speaking of medleys, my favorite medley out of all the medleys was a classic rock bluegrass version of Layla, Walk This Way, Carry On My Wayward Son, and Born to Be Wild, all meshed together. And it was awesome to go. It was awesome to go to a show, not far up the street, from my house, and just to be there. It was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing. Had a great time, ran into some friends over the weekend at the show. Just great seeing some of my friends up there. One of my friends, Will Toller, he was photographing the show, taking pictures, and good seeing you, buddy. And just a great time. And I also ran into my bro teacher, Miss Tyler, for the first time in quite a while. For those that don't know, I am blind. And I had a bro teacher for almost about 10, 12, 13, 14 years or something like that. And we Haven't seen each other in a while, and I ran into her and her husband at the show as we were leaving. Me and my dad were just a great time. Just a great time at the show, running into some friends and hearing some live music on Friday night. And speaking of live music, the reason why we are doing a rare double dip of sports shows this week is because tomorrow I will not be on the show. So I wanted to come on here today and give my thoughts on week 7 in the NFL, the World Series coming up, the NLCS and ALCS that happened over the last several days. Um, but the reason why I will not be on is because I will be going to a concert tomorrow in Pikeville, Kentucky. One of my favorite bands, Godsmack, is going to be playing up there, and it's going to be a great show as always. Those guys put on a killer show, and looking forward to that show tomorrow night. So tomorrow, Ezra, Joey, and Kevin have you guys covered, but don't worry, I will be bringing you my Week 7 analysis uh, today, and get that started. Man, what a crazy week it was in the NFL. I mean, on kicking it off as always with Thursday night football, the Broncos took on the Saints, and it was a bloodbath. It was not even close. Was not even close. Not even close. The Saints, they look lost. They look like a team in complete disarray. They look putrid on offense, and their defense is banged up, and just Denver got to give them credit. Sean Payton coming into the Superdome for the first time since leaving the Saints as their head coach, and he obviously took the team to the Super Bowl and won them the Super Bowl in the 2009-2010 season with the great Drew Brees at quarterback. And gotta give credit to Sean Payton. Bo Nix did not turn into Mo Picks on Thursday. He had a damn good game. Damn good game. Played well, didn't turn the ball over. But that Saints team, man, they look lost. They look lost. And the Saints right now have lost so many games in a row. I believe they've lost 5 in a row. They've lost 5 in a row after winning their first 2 games. People were thinking, oh, this is not the same old Saints. Not the same old Saints. Well, they're not. They are the same old Saints. We're just calling them the Aints because they ain't playing good. They are not playing good football. Not playing good football. Just terrible. Just terrible. Just terrible. Terrible football playing. Just terrible. Terrible football playing they're playing right now. And the Saints schedule does not get any easier, folks. Their schedule it's gonna get bad. I mean, just the way this team went from being one of the top scoring teams, scoring over 90 points in the first couple of games, and now they're looking putrid on both ends of the football. And speaking of week 7 in the NFL, let me pull up the rest of the schedule from this past weekend, including Sunday, the kicking off the Sunday festivities. The Jacksonville Jaguars beat the New England Patriots in the battle of the 1-5 teams going into week number 7. They beat the Patriots 32-16. And going into this game, the Jaguars have played really bad, and the Patriots have played pretty bad as well. And the Patriots got off to a 10-0 lead, and Jacksonville scored a touchdown at the end of the first half to get close. And then from there on out, it was all Jaguars. New England they didn't play great. The defense was getting tortured a lot during the game, and Drake May, the kid made some throws, but at the end of the day, he's still a rookie quarterback. He's playing like a rookie quarterback. It's going to take him some time to get accustomed to that playbook with the Patriots. But the Jacksonville Jaguars, whoop-de-freaking-do, you finally won a game. You finally won a game. You're 2-5, and you still are absolute hot garbage. Just a battle of 2 of the worst teams in the NFL. Somebody had to win. Somebody had to lose. And the Jaguars, like I said, won 32-16. Moving down the box score, the Seattle Seahawks finally get off the schneid after losing 3 games in a row. They come into hot Atlanta and beat the living hell out of Atlanta 34-14. This game was not even close. I mean, Kirk Cousins, this Atlanta team was looking really good the last couple of weeks. Until he had to turn into like he does in primetime. Captain Kirk was turning the ball over and at times and the offense was stalling drives and couldn't really get nothing going and consistently driving the ball down the field. And got to give Seattle's offense and defense a lot of credit, for showing up and playing an all-around good game. And Kenneth Walker on his 24th birthday had a couple of touchdowns in this game. He played really well. Geno Smith played pretty well in this game as well. And Atlanta's next game is not going to be easy. And I'm going to give you my picks on these games coming up in Week 8. They'll take on the Buccaneers next week. The Washington Commanders beat up on the Carolina Panthers 40-7. However, Jaden Daniels left the game with ribs injuries. Now, if this is the game to sit your star quarterback and hopefully the damage to his ribs is not significant, Marcus Mariota came up and as the backup and to step in and play, and he did. I got to give him credit, but Marcus Mariota, as we know, he is not the long-term guy. Marcus Mariota is a guy that you can't rely on to play consistent good football for weeks and weeks because this team is not built around him. But the one thing I will say about Marcus Mariota being there as the backup, it truly pays dividends, folks, to have a backup quarterback in place. You have to have a backup quarterback in place just in case if stuff like this happens. And this is where some of these teams are having to learn the hard way, such as the Tennessee Titans, such as the Las Vegas Raiders, so on and so forth. But if this was the game to sit Jaden Daniels for one game and have him come back next week and play against Chicago, this was the game to sit him the rest of the way. Sucks that the injury happened, but hopefully the injuries to his ribs is not significant. But if you're the Carolina Panthers, myself and Ezra, Kevin, Joey, we have all said on this show that Andy Dalton is not the answer to this Panthers offense. He is not the answer. And he threw a pick six. And it was returned for a touchdown. First series of the game for the Panthers. I think we can I think we can put that Andy Dalton's the answer to their offense to bed. Because after that one game that they won against the Raiders on the road, and then that competitive game against Cincinnati when Cincy ended up pulling away 34-24, ever since then, the Red Rifle has come back down to earth. And the Panthers are not playing consistent again. Their defense was cooked in this game by this Commanders offense. The defense played well. And again, hopefully the injuries to Daniels' ribs are not as severe. And according to his mother, yesterday I heard on NFL radio, report came down that she said he is fine. And if that is the case, that is great news for us football fans, because coming up later this week, you have the Chicago Bears taking on the Washington Commanders in a battle of the top 2 overall picks in the 2024 NFL Draft. And that will be a very interesting game. And moving on down the schedule from this past week, the Colts beat the Dolphins, surviving 16-10. Anthony Richards came back and after missing a couple of games and led the Colts to a victory. And if you are the Miami Dolphins, you better hope and pray to the football gods above that Tua Tagovailoa is able to return this week in Week 8, because without Tua, this offense ain't shit. This team is going nowhere. if Tua is not in the offense. Jonathan Taylor once again missing another game with an ankle injury. The Colts did enough on offense and defense to get this close victory, 16-10. A game that was not close was the Bills beating the crap out of the Titans 34-10 in the first game as a Buffalo Bill for the one and only Amari Cooper at wide receiver with Josh Allen. And the Bills once again are proving why, to me, they are the dark horse in the AFC. If they can stay healthy, if they can continue to pile on the victories and play great football, and Josh Allen continues to not turn the football over, this is the Josh Allen from 2021-22 when that team was so close to going to the AFC Championship game when they took on Kansas City. Yeah, he may not have the offensive firepower that he once had in Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs, but he has Amari Cooper. And Amari Cooper is a credible number one wide receiver to stretch the field and make defenses shake in their cleats. And Cooper did catch his first touchdown as a Buffalo Bill in their win over the Titans. And this Tennessee team, my goodness gracious. I mean, if you're Tony Pollard, you're questioning yourself, why in the hell did I come all the way from Dallas to Tennessee and Nashville to be with this dumpster fire of a football team? Because this football team, again, like the Jaguars, like the Panthers, like the Patriots, they ain't doing crap as well. I mean, my goodness. I mean, if you're Dallas, if I'm Jerry Jones, real quick on them Cowboys, how do you not sign Tony Pollard? How do you not re-sign him? Because now he's gone to Tennessee and he's not putting up the numbers that he still would if he was still in Dallas. And that's not a prediction. That, my friends, is a spoiler. A little wrestling tie-in right there. For those that know that, you see what I did there. Yeet! Anyways, folks, Bills looking good. Again, 34-10 against the Titans on Sunday afternoon around the 1 o'clock games. Another 1 o'clock game that took place was the Bengals beating the Browns 21-14. And Joe Burrow can finally say, I beat the Browns. Because he, for the last several years since he's been in the NFL, since being drafted in 2020 by Cincinnati, he has lost every single game against the Browns. Cleveland had his number for the last 3 years going into this year. And the Browns, once again, do not score past 16, but they scored 14. They're still averaging 16 points a game through 7 games. And unfortunately, in this game, and I know we pick on Deshaun Watson about the massage parlor this, massage parlor that. He's getting a nice massage by these women and all this other stuff. The ruptured Achilles, torn Achilles, that is not good. And there was a lot of significant injuries that took place during Week 7 in the National Football League. And this injury was one of them. And then their backup quarterback came in. He got injured, taken out of the game. And then Jameis Winston came in as the emergency quarterback, threw a touchdown in the game. Cleveland once again is going, excuse me, is going through quarterbacks left and right. And it is just crazy how this Browns team cannot score past 16 points. Speaking of this game real quick, really cool on the opening kickoff for Cincinnati, a 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Gosh, when those kickoff returns happen, they are electrifying. It's electric. Boogie, oogie, oogie. Anyways, Joe Burrow finally ends that losing streak against Cleveland. Cincinnati beats Cleveland 21-14. One of the best games of week number 7 took place in the NFL on Sunday between the Packers and the Texans in Lambeau Field. Jordan Love had an up and down game in this game. but he played. He the plays that he made that were great, but the 3 touchdowns and the 2 critical mistakes that he made, the team did survive. He did throw 2 interceptions in this game, but Jordan Love led this team. You know, he still kept getting up, throwing the ball as a true quarterback should. No matter what, hey, if you throw a pick, get off the mat. So to, theoretically speaking, and sling that ball. Keep slinging. Don't be afraid to throw that ball. And Jordan Love did just that. Threw 3 TDs in the game. Played well. CJ Stroud, got to give the credit where credit is due to the Packers defense, holding CJ Stroud to 86 passing yards in this game. CJ Stroud was not up to his usual bag of tricks there in this game. Joe Mixon had a couple of touchdowns in this game for the Texans in a losing effort. And the Texans, nothing to be ashamed. They're the best team in the AFC South right now. They're playing good football overall. They just ran into a team that was the better team at the end of the day, because usually when you get these games that are down to the wire, it's usually going to be a team who makes a play. And Josh Jacobs in this game played well as he played very well as well. And you know, Josh Jacobs to me has been one of the better signings this year in the NFL. I mean, he has stepped into that leading running back role, taking Aaron Jones' spot after he left the Packers to go to Minnesota. And Josh Jacobs has really, really, really gotten accustomed to being with this Green Bay Packers organization and playing really good football. Speaking of really good football, this was a really good game, and I just talked about the Vikings. The Detroit Lions have beaten one of the last few teams that was undefeated going into week 7, as the Lions come back from being down 10-0 against Minnesota on the road. They went up double digits a couple of times. They were leading in this game 28-17, and Minnesota kicked a couple of field goals to get this into a very interesting game. And Montgomery for the Lions during this game, he got hurt and was out for a couple of plays. That meant Jahmyr Gibbs had to come in there and step it up and be that home run derby. And sure enough, Jahmyr Gibbs was that home run derby. A 40-plus yard touchdown in this game, giving boost to that Lions running back. And Got to give credit to Jared Goff, in this Lions team, because Dan Campbell, this dude he does not he does not he does not mean a 4th down play that he doesn't like taking a chance, a gamble on, because in life, as we all know, you have to take chances. And Dan Campbell rolled the dice and it blew up in his face, going for it on a fake punt, and the Vikings took full advantage and they took that 10-0 lead. But Jared Goff and offense, they rebounded and they responded. And Jared Goff had a couple of touchdowns in this game. Jahmyr Gibbs had a touchdown in this game. Montgomery had a touchdown in this game. Defense held off Darnold and the Vikings offense, and Justin Jefferson had 7 catches for 84 yards and a touchdown. And one play that the Vikings did that I did not agree with there in this game was they did a flea flicker play, a trickery play, where Jefferson was lined up giving the ball and Darnold was going to run a wheel route. I don't like that, because if the defense snuffs it out, that could be a loss of yardage, and it could have blown up in their face, but Jefferson got 3 yards out of that play. I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of these flea flicker plays that go to the wide receiver if it's not, drawn up well. Because if the defense is sniffing it out quickly, you need to just drop where you're at with the ball and don't lose a lot of yards. Because sometimes when you try to make something out of nothing, sometimes it can blow up in your face. And it could have, but Justin Jefferson did get, like I said, he did get 3 yards out of that play. So that was a very interesting play call by the Vikings that did not go their way. And like I said, I mean, and going into these picks last week, something told me to pick Detroit to take that chance And Detroit did it. They're five and this NFC. Before I continue with these scores, the NFC North division right now, folks, it is the best division in the NFL right now. You got a pair of 5-1 teams: Detroit, Minnesota, Chicago's 4-2, Green Bay, I believe. Let me pull up their record. Green Bay, I believe they're either 4-2 or they're 5-2. Let me pull that up just to make sure. Green Bay is. What is Green Bay's record? Give me a second, folks. Sorry about that. Here we go. Green Bay. I think they're 4-2. I think so. My stats are not pulling up real quick. But anyways, Green Bay had a great game. Had a great game against the Texans. This was one of the better games this week in the NFL. And Jordan Love and the Packers, I mean, they're playing good, and the Bears are playing great. Lions, Vikings, NFC North, top to bottom. It is the best. It is the best division in the NFL right now, bar none. They're playing really good, playing really well. Hey, what's going on, William? How you doing, sir? Can't complain. Glad you could join me tonight here, William, here in the chat. Yeah, the Green Bay game was really good with the Texans. Like I said, 22-21 was the final in that game. And moving on down the schedule from this past week, the Rams beat the Raiders in a weird game, 20-15. This was a very odd game because O'Connell got injured in this game, breaking his thumb on his throwing hand. And Matthew Stafford and company, it was a weird game. Like they just it was a weird game. That's all I'll say. It was an odd game. This was a game that should have been Rams 27, Vegas, I don't know, 7, 6, whatever, or 9, whatever. Not 20-15. It was an odd game. Odd game. Very odd. Very odd. And Gardner Minshew came in as the relief role for the backup, and he didn't play great. He missed some throws in this game. Oh, there it is. Green Bay is 5-2. They are 5-2. Thank you to ESPN. Finally was able to pull up those stats. Green Bay 5-2 in the NFC North. Chicago 4-2 on a bye. They will face Detroit, who is again 5-1, who are leading in the NFC North. Moving on down the schedule, the Philadelphia Eagles bludgeoned the Giants to death 28-3. Sorry, Atlanta Falcons fans, you had to hear that score again. Oh boy. A league that us sports fans will not let down. The Giants looked lost in this game. Danny Dimes, or in this case, Danny Dirks, again, did not play great. Again, we say it time and time again on this show. Why are you paying him the money? Why are you paying him the money? He's not even worth the money. And yes, William, it has been a minute. Glad you could join here again tonight. Thoughts, William, on the Bengals and the Browns this weekend? Because the Bengals, they started off a little rocky this year. They're 3-4. They're still hanging around. It's not gonna get any easier for the Bengals. But the Bengals, if they can continue to play consistent ball, if Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow can continue to be good, that good combination that they are the last couple of years, and even in their year when they won the national title at LSU, I think that if the Bengals can string along some victories, I think they could be right in the thick of things. Moving on, uh, again, back to this Eagles and Giants game. Saquon Barkley had his sweet revenge game against the Giants. Had a couple of touchdowns in this game, including a 55-yard run in this game. Just overall great game by Philadelphia, except Jalen Hurts is, no pun intended, he is hurting this team at times. The throws that he's missing, just not good. Not good. But A.J. Brown had a touchdown in this game. Defense played pretty well against this Giants team, making them look putrid like they always are. Now, getting back to the important games here on the schedule. First, the Chiefs and the Niners in a Super Bowl 58 rematch at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. The Santa Clara 49ers, as Hijacker Mike would say. This game was very, very odd because it got off to a very slow start because Patrick Mahomes and Brock Purdy both threw interceptions in this game to start out. And Kareem Hunt, the former Chief, now returning to the Chiefs this year, had a couple of touchdowns in this game. But where this game took an interesting turn, and if you're San Francisco, Kevin knows this very well. Me as a 49er fans, and I have a couple of Niners friends that I know that know this very well. Because if you remember, 5 years ago, when the Chiefs took on the Niners in Super Bowl 54, Super Bowl 54, San Francisco lost that game 31-20 against the Chiefs. Chiefs came back and scored 21 points in a row to win that game. The next year, San Francisco went into that year, and they were snake bitten by the injury bug. Jimmy Garoppolo was injured. Nick Bosa got injured. A lot of their key players got injured during that year after they lost the Super Bowl. Well, fast forward 5 years later, like the Aerosmith song goes, same old story, same old song and dance. Because the injury bug has once again bitten San Francisco when it hurts the most. And before I continue about this game, yes, William, I do agree that the Bengals are coming into their own. It's taken some time to get there, but they're getting there. And as far as the Browns go, yes, I completely agree that they have given up on Kevin Stefanski. Because Kevin Stefanski is a former multi-time Coach of the Year winner with the Browns, taking this team to the playoffs a couple of times. And if you're Cleveland, you're kicking yourselves in the foot because Joe Flacco led this team to the fucking playoffs last year. And now they have no quarterback. Now they have no quarterback. And that's all because of Cleveland's fault with the upper management. It's not Stefanski's fault. It's the upper management. The general manager, team president. Just like the Cowboys' fault, not being all in. Oh, sorry, Cowboys fans. It's the truth. Back to this Chiefs and 49ers game. During this game, the Niners were down, still in striking distance. I believe the score was, yes, it was, 14-12. They were still in striking distance. Brandon Ayuk gets injured. The word now is a potentially torn ACL. And I know Kevin has said on this show, he has said on our chat, on our show, on our Facebook chat, you paid Brandon Ayuk all of this money, and he did not play consistent football. Brandon Ayuk had a major drop on the Chiefs side of the football field that could have given San Francisco even more momentum during that first half, going into the half at the break. And Brandon Ayuk dropped a very well thrown ball by Brock Purdy. And then as they got down the field into the red zone, Ayuk catches a slant pattern, gets tackled on the lower leg part of the body, on the lower part of the body. And of course, as the NFL talks about player safety rules and all that crap, Ayuk gets hit in the lower part of the body, and he did not get up on his own. He had to be helped to his feet, walking very gingerly and slowly. And if you're a Niners fan, if you're the Niners, organization, you're reeling, man. Like, you're thinking, again, we're snake bitten by the injury bug once again. Come on, man. This is getting ridiculous. And the Niners are just losing players left and right on the defensive side and the offense. And Deebo Samuel, not to mention yesterday, he came into this game sick. Flu-like symptoms or COVID, whatever it was, he was not himself because he was sick. And it just sucks. It just sucks for this team. And Christian McCaffrey, not to mention, has missed the first 7 games of this, or the first 6 games that they played. He's missed the first 6 games of their regular season. And he was their best weapon on the offensive side of the football. Not to mention, the Madden curse is now in full effect, folks, because Christian McCaffrey, for those that don't know, Christian McCaffrey was the cover athlete for the Madden 25 video game. So, yeah, if you're San Francisco, you're thinking once again, like, what can we do to get past this? Because Kittle was the only guy, and not to mention, but Jennings was out yesterday too. He was injured. So this Niners team has been banged up. And it's so hard to predict these games in San Francisco because you don't know which team is going to show up. Jordan Mason, yes, when he's been in there, he's played really well. But Brock Purdy yesterday did not have a great game. And a very interesting stat to mention to you guys. 2 stats real quick before the Niners stats. Philadelphia, in the first 6 games that they have played this year, in all of the first quarters, Philadelphia has scored 0 points in the first quarter of these first 6 games. That is alarming. Back to San Francisco, Kansas City. Brock Purdy is now 6-8 when he throws 1 or more interceptions. On the flip side of things, he is 14-0 when he throws 0 interceptions. So again, yes, William, I agree with that too. Nick Chubb does not deserve this offensive line. Because Nick Chubb, he's a great player. And when him and Kareem Hunt were together in Cleveland, the 2-headed running back beast tandem that they were, he was phenomenal. Kareem was phenomenal with this team because they had an offensive line. And now they have, wait for it, nobody. The Chiefs, they're 6-0. And they're an interesting team. Rice is out with he's out with I think it's a MCL sprain. I think that's what, or MCL injury, ACL injury, something like that. Can't remember right off the top of my head. Brown has been out for multiple weeks. They've been having receiver issues with players not being there and healthy, and Travis Kelce has not put up Travis Kelce-like numbers, but the Chiefs are still somehow finding a way to win games. And at the end of the day, as we all know, a W is much better than a freaking L, besides your name. Chiefs, once again, 6-0. San Francisco is now 3-4. Not good. Not good. Speaking of not good, the New York Jets. What in the blue hell was that last night? Aaron Rodgers. Oh, 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 this team looked lost. The defense was cooked by Chef Russell Wilson. And I'll say it right here on the air. When I heard last week, and for those that saw the show last night, I yelled out, "What the fuck?" when Pittsburgh named Wilson as the starting quarterback for Pittsburgh. Because why in God's name would you take Justin Fields out of the starting lineup when the team is 4-2? Fields had 10 TDs, 1 interception. And going into a game like that, when you're still 2 games over 500, you're not going to bench your quarterback. Well, Mike Tomlin did just that, and they still were, they look great. Russell Wilson did miss some throws in this game, but he rebounded with some really good throws in this game. Harris had a really good game. The defense played great. But this New York Jets team, what in the hell? What in the hell is up with this team? Oh God. Oh God. And Aaron Rodgers threw a pick in this game. Devontae Adams, so much for that trade there, huh? Devontae Adams played horrible last night in his Jets debut. Okay, so, Mr. Rodgers, you threw Mike Williams under the damn bus after your team blew the game last week against the Bills on Monday Night Football, and you did not own up to your mistakes during that game by throwing an interception that was a underthrown ball, not a miss route. Thank you very much. And then last night he throws a pick in the red zone. Who are you going to blame for that, Aaron? Huh? Oh, wait. You're not going to blame nobody. Oh, no. I'm sorry. I take that back. You'll blame somebody, but you'll blame the receiver. You'll blame the offensive line. Hell, you'll blame the head coach for the play call. You won't take accountability to your mistakes. Oh, damn it. Okay. Breaking news. And Kevin just wrote this in our chat here on Facebook. Not only is it a torn ACL for Brandon Ayuk, it is also a torn MCL. The same injury that Nick Chubb had last year. Damn. Oh, damn it. Just, when it can't get any worse, it does. It does for San Francisco. Just awful. Awful. Damn it. That is a punch to the gut. Again, breaking news, folks. Not only is it a torn ACL for Brandon Ayuk, it is a torn MCL. He is done. He is done. Back to this Jets' hilarious loss against the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers in this game, yeah, he looked pretty good during the first half. But this is 60 minutes, folks, as we all know. It's a 60-minute game. You have to play all 4 quarters. And the Jets scored 15 points in the first half. Second half, shutout, 31 to nothing. Leading 15-6 at the half. They were outscored 31 to nothing in the second half. 37-15 was the final score. And oh my God, a comedy of errors for this Jets team. Aaron Rodgers, once again last night, is not owning up after the loss that Father Time, once again, ladies and gentlemen, it is undefeated. Aaron Rodgers last night is playing like a 40-plus-year-old man. Aaron Rodgers is not the same quarterback that he was 3, 5, hell, 10, 14 years ago that he was. When he was winning MVPs. When he won the team that he was with, obviously, for all those years in Green Bay, replacing Brett Favre and winning the Super Bowl. Yeah, he's been to multiple NFC Championship games with the Packers. But ever since being to those championship games for Green Bay and that one Super Bowl appearance, Rodgers has done nothing in a big spot when it matters the most. And the media, a lot of the media out there will kiss his ass like no tomorrow. Like all of us here on the show and sports YouTubers around the world, we are completely honest, unbiased people when it comes to how a team is doing. If the New York Jets right now were 5-2 versus being 2-0, we will be singing their praises and how Aaron Rodgers is playing good football. But that's not the case. We're not coming on here and making excuses why he's not doing this, the team's not doing that, blah, 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 blah. All that horse shit. Aaron Rodgers is playing like an older quarterback that is pretty much past his prime. Yeah, he can still make that Hail Mary throw. He still has some magic, but he's not where he was 3, 5, 10, 14, 15 years ago when he was great. And it's mind-boggling to think that going into this year, myself, Kevin, Joey, all of us were saying, if the Jets are going to be good, they're going to have to win some good games against some good teams and prove to the NFL why they can be up there with the Ravens, with the Chiefs, with the Texans, with the Bengals, with the Steelers. Because the way they're playing right now, that ain't cutting jack. The Buffalo Bills also as well. When you look at the Jets schedule, it does not get any scheduler. The schedule for the Jets does not get any easier. And oh, by the way, last night after their fourth consecutive loss, Aaron Rodgers had a press conference. And he said he was basically putting the blame on the media. How the hell are you putting the blame on the media? They're not the ones that's on the football field making mistakes, turning the ball over. You, my sir, are the one on the football field turning the ball over, coughing up the football. The media is not out there missing throws, missing reads, getting sacked, and having a shitty offensive line. That's also another problem with the Jets. This offensive line, it is garbage. Garbage. This offensive line could not block the broadside of a barn if their lives are on the line. This team sucks. And I feel like the biggest idiot for picking Pittsburgh or for going against Pittsburgh last week. But the reason why I did is because going into week 7, I should have known to pick against the Jets because the Jets are playing so bad this year. But but beside the point. The reason why I picked the Jets is because I didn't think that they were going to rebound with Russell Wilson as quarterback because nobody changes their quarterback at 4-2, 2 games over 500. Nobody does that. Nobody. Nobody. What's up, Trenda? And yes, Liam, look for Detroit to go at their ooh, go after Smith with Hutchinson being out. Okay, I could see that happening. William here in the chat saying Aaron Rodgers is playing like Jake from State Farm. Bravo, sir. And yes, Trent, that the Jets have always sucked, but this is so sad. It's very sad how this Jets team is playing. You have a star quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. He's actually healthy. He did not tear his Achilles. He got past 4 snaps. Yay! Boy, he got past 4 snaps. What do you freaking do? What do you want, a participating trophy? Oh my God. Last night, I ain't paying attention to you guys. I blame you guys. I got to do better, make better throws. We got to show up, prepare better. Da, da, da. All that mumbo jumbo crap. Come on. Just face facts, Mr. Rogers. You are no longer the best at your job, the best at your position. And yeah, that happened. That happened. Oh my God. Freaking hilarious. Now, tonight, this is an interesting show because this is, to my knowledge, this is our actual first live show of this show on a Monday. But going in tonight, there is 2 football games. The Chargers and the Cardinals and the Buccaneers and the Ravens. And the Chargers they played all right. Jim Harbaugh's done pretty solid with these guys. The Cardinals, they're a pesky team. They hang around. They make plays here and there. Kyler Murray's played. He's made some plays this year, but I think the Chargers, like we said during our picks last week, I do think the Chargers are going to pull this off. And this Ravens Buccaneers game is a rather interesting game because this game could go either way. Because if you're Baltimore, you are looking to continue this hot streak after losing your first 2 games in a row, and you've rattled off three consecutive victories in a row, and they're looking good. Excuse me, 4 consecutive victories now. Looking good. Looking very good. And that is tonight. Those are the 2 football games for tonight. And yeah, real quick, back to this whole Aaron Rodgers thing, because this to me is hilarious. You bring him, and for those that say, oh, there's not a power of getting Robert Saleh out, bullshit. There was a power move. Because now it's also a proven fact that it's not the coach's fault, it's the quarterback's fault. It's the offensive line's fault. It's the defense's fault for not making stops, for making dumb plays on penalties, getting called. Rodgers, it's baffling to me how a lot of the people in the media were picking the Jets to be the team to dethrone the Chiefs. What, are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? I don't give a damn if Aaron Rodgers has won 3 or 4 MVPs, won a Super Bowl, been a long-time Pro Bowl starting quarterback. I'm still taking Patrick Mahomes over Aaron Rodgers at this juncture of the game. Because unlike Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes can get it done when it matters the most. And oh, by the way, He has 3 Super Bowls. And he's won 2 in a row. And the Chiefs could be the first team in NFL history to three-peat. We shall see. So, yes. Before I get to my picks in the NFL for Week 8, I do want to talk about baseball real quick. Man, that NLCS was a hell, or excuse me, that ALCS was a hell of a series between Cleveland and the Yankees. The Guardians, despite it being a 5-game series, they gave the Yankees all they could handle. Man, what a competitive series this was. Damn good series by both teams. I mean, game 3, it looked like the Yankees were going to win that game and go up 3-0 after the Aaron Judge 2-run homer and then the Carlos Stanton home run, as John Sterling would say, a back-to-back and a belly-to-belly, as the Yankees hit 2 home runs back-to-back to go up 4-2, and then Cleveland, or to go up, wait a minute, what was it? Go up 5-2. Or no, I'm sorry. I got the score, getting the scores mixed up. But anyways, excuse me. Or 5-3. Excuse me. They were trailing 2-1, and then they hit the 2-run homer, tie the game, and then they had a 2-run lead, or hit the the homer by Stanton to go up, and then they had it was 4-2. Excuse me, to go up 4-2. Because they were down 2-1, and then he hit that to go up. Then Judge hit that 2-run homer to go up 3-2, and then they hit the solo run by Stanton to go up 4-2, and then they had that insurance run at the bottom of the ninth, or the top of the ninth, to go up 5-2, and then as we all know, Big Christmas happened, and that was crazy. That ninth inning, that bottom of the ninth was crazy. I mean, full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 out from going up 3-0, and Big Christmas gave the Cleveland Guardians fans an early Christmas gift and a tying run for the ages. They got a single that led to a run, tied the game at 5, and then in the top, and then the bottom of the 10th, Cleveland won the game on a 2-run homer. Incredible game. Then in game 4, same high intensity drama. Yankees were down 3-1, and then the Yankees rattled off, or they were down 2-1, and then the Yankees, like a bat of hell, the bats came alive. They were getting good hits and base runners in scoring position and runners in scoring position, and some really good home runs for the Yankees in this game, going up 6-1, and then they just kept chipping away. The Guardians did not go down without a fight. And the Yankees survived. In this game. Man, his game was crazy as well. I'm like, if you're a Yankee fan watching this game, I know Neil is. Neil's a diehard Yankee fan. I know he was watching this game going, oh, again? Really? Again? This all over again? And the Yankees ended up surviving that game. The Guardians had a couple of chances to really, really put the Yankees in a precarious situation. But the Yankees survived game 4, and they took a 3-1 series lead in that game, winning 8-6 after the Guardians rallied to tie the game 6-6. Yankees got a couple of runs in the 9th inning, and then Weaver closed them out after Weaver blew the game 3 game against the Guardians when Big Christmas hit that 2-run homer to tie the game. And I was talking to some friends a couple of days ago, and one of my friends, Mike, said, from New York, he said, I was on a friend stream over on Meet Me a couple of days ago, and we were talking about this Cleveland New York series. He said when Weaver's in the game, either one of the 2 things are going to happen. Either he's going to close the game, it's going to go really well, or like it did in game 3, it went really, really, really bad. But good for Weaver. He rebounded. He rebounded. Game 5 happens. And again, drama, 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 drama. Cleveland got off to the 1-0 start. They were up 2-1. And the Yankees could not get nothing going. And then they tied the game at 2-2. And this game kept going back and forth, back and forth. Nobody could seem to take the lead. And then, just like that, and this is where baseball, the intensity during playoff baseball is one of the best sports besides playoff hockey. Because Juan Soto, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, down to 1 out. And then if they would have gotten the strikeout or a fly out, pop up to get him out, Guardians would have been up for bat at a chance to win the game. But Juan Soto with 1 crack at the bat, 1 swing at the bat, 3-run homer, quieted the Cleveland Guardians ballpark. That game, gotta give credit to the Guardians ballpark. They showed up and showed out in games 3, 4, and 5. And even though this was a 5-game series, this was a hell of a series. This was a hell of a series. I agree, William. Real quick, piggyback off of what William just said here in the chat. Remember when Favre went to the Jets from the Packers? Same thing. Yes, absolutely. And you're right, William, that the Guardians pitchers were just tired. The Guardians pitchers did get tired. And hats off to the Yankees. They pulled it off. Their first World Series appearance since 2009. Great series. The Dodgers and the Mets. The series, it had its moments. The Dodgers dominated in game 2. Or game 3, excuse me. Game 3. After that Shohei Ohtani put him up 7-0. Then in game 4, they dominated. Then in game 5, the Mets finally came alive and put 10 runs on the board. 10 home runs on the board, including a Pete Alonso 3-run blaster that got Citi Field rocking and rolling. And the Mets, they did not go down without a fight. Got to give them credit. They held in there. But like William said, with the Guardians getting tired, I think the Mets, I think the pitchers, I think the batters, I think they ran out of gas. The Dodgers offense, their pitching, the bullpen was just too much for them to handle. And the Dodgers last night, they held off the Mets. The Mets had their chances last night. At one point, 7-4, the base, or I believe it was 7-4. Yeah, it was 7-4. Bases were loaded for the Mets. And the Dodgers got out of that jam. It was not pretty. They had to hold on to their butts. If you're a Dodgers fan at that game, you're hoping and praying that you're gonna get a strikeout or a pop up or a fly out and catch for the out. There was a chance the Mets could have gotten a couple of runs in this game, but the batters, just McNeil and Alonso and company, they just couldn't get nothing really going. Like they had 5 runs in this game, but it's not enough. The Dodgers ended up winning this series in 6, 10-5. The Dodgers and the Yankees is the World Series. That'll be very interesting. 2 of the marquee markets in the world of baseball. And if you are the world of Major League Baseball, this was a matchup you were hoping that was going to happen. So, again, congratulations to the Yankees and to the Dodgers for making it to the World Series. This should be a very entertaining World Series between both organizations. And again, folks, just past just past 6:05 here Eastern Standard Time here on the top of the next hour. On a rare Monday, I am live here giving my thoughts on the world of sports. And for those that don't know, I will be in Kentucky tomorrow for the Godsmack show. That is the closest show they're coming to me. Me being here in North Carolina, I cannot wait to go to this show tomorrow. It's going to be a great show as always from these guys. They put on a fantastic show. And Ezra, Joey, and Kevin will have you covered tomorrow night as they give their thoughts on the world of sports. Now, before I give my thoughts, or excuse me, not my thoughts, my picks for the upcoming games for this week in week 8, the NBA season begins tomorrow night. As the defending NBA champions, the Boston Celtics are going to be as the Boston Celtics will be kicking off the 2024-25 NBA regular season as they will face the New York Knicks. Game starts at 7:30, and then at 10 o'clock, you have the Timberwolves taking on the Lakers. So going into this season, I think the Knicks, on paper, should get the Celtics a run for their money. But as we all know, on paper, that doesn't do you anything. You have to continue to play good basketball and know your assignments on offense and defense and know what your strengths and weaknesses are. And it's really cool what this Knicks team has done in the offseason because they've gotten pretty much the entire team when the college team of Villanova when they won the championship against North Carolina. So really cool for these guys to be joining together along with Karl Anthony Towns, who left the Timberwolves to go join the Knicks. And speaking of the Timberwolves, before I get to the Celtics, this Timberwolves team has a lot of pressure on them. Because now that Karl Anthony Towns is gone, this team is not going to look the same. Yeah, that's a fact. I mean, Minnesota last year made a run. They could have gotten to the NBA Finals, but they didn't. The Mavericks were just too much. Well, to be fair, Luka and Kyrie were too much. Anthony Edwards, good basketball player. He's a young stud in this league, but it's not just about a superstar. It's about the whole team. Why do you think the Boston Celtics won the championship last year? Because it wasn't just Jason Tatum and it wasn't just Jaylen Brown that won in that championship. It was Al Horford. It was Derek White. It was Kristaps Porzingis when he was there in the lineup healthy. It was Drew Holiday, who to me was the key contributing factor to the success of the Boston Celtics winning the NBA championship last year. I think the Celtics again this year are going to be right up there in the East. They're going to have a great year, I think. The Celtics really didn't lose anybody in the offseason. I think, as a matter of fact, they had the majority of their roster from the championship roster last year. And if you are the Los Angeles Lakers, that's the complete opposite. The Los Angeles Lakers are not what they are made out to be. LeBron James and Anthony Davis, our favorite grown toy, T-O-Y, toy. LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers, to me, they're not going to go far. Even if they make the playoffs, they'll have to face up with the Nuggets probably. And like they had the last couple of years, the Nuggets have made the Lakers their bitch. Because every time LeBron has faced the Nuggets have been the better complete basketball team, and they've played a more complete as a more complete team. Because the Lakers are only going to go as far as they go if Davis and LeBron are carrying the load. The role players that they have on this team, they do have some pretty good role players, but they're not Denver. They're not Dallas. And speaking of Dallas, that's also an interesting note, too. Klay Thompson, after all those years with the Golden State Warriors, is going to be a Dallas Maverick this season. Their season kicks off the next night on Wednesday. The NBA season this year, like I said, at the top of the hour, begins tomorrow night with the raised with another banner of the Boston Celtics as they once again will face their rivals, the New York Knicks, kicking off the 24-25 campaign. Excuse me, I stand correct. The Dallas Mavericks' first game of the regular season is against the San Antonio Spurs on Thursday. Again, folks, we are live here for a rare edition of our Nation Sports Show here on a Monday night, live at 5. The show started at 5 o'clock. I'm your host, Stephen Wyand. Very interesting. And real quick before I continue with the social media plugs, it's a very interesting pick by you, William, that you're picking the Dodgers. And it honestly wouldn't surprise me if the Dodgers win. Again, folks, we are live here on YouTube on a rare Monday night for the first time. For edition of our Nation Sports Show, I'm your host for this evening, Stephen Wyand. You can follow us on Twitter at Owen_Sports Show, Facebook.com/Our Nation Sports Show, and where I am live right now, live at 5, YouTube.com/Our Nation Sports Show. And also don't forget to follow the Nation's Corner on Twitter at Nation's Corner, Facebook.com/Nation's Corner, and YouTube at The Nation's Corner, where their show is live at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, 4 p.m. Pacific time. And right now, I want to bring to you my picks for Week 8 in the National Football League. And I'm going to be completely honest. After going 14-0, I said this to Joey last week. I said it to Ezra and to Kevin and everybody here on the show. The odds of me having a good record like that ever again is slim to none. And last week was the complete opposite from being 14-0 last week. I absolutely sucked. I did not do good. And I'm hoping to rebound. As we always do, kicking off with, before I get off with that, Joey tomorrow will be giving off the numbers for the show for this past week and next week. I think it's after this week. I think it's either after. I think it's during week 9. He gives the picks, or it's after week 9. I think it's after week 9. But anyways, that's beside the point. That'll be given, I think, next week or the week after. But anyways, kicking off as we always do, Thursday Night Football. It is the Minnesota Vikings at the Los Angeles Rams. And I am looking for Minnesota to rebound. I think they are the better football team than the Rams. I have the Vikings beating the Rams. I am going to go 28-14. Kicking off the Sunday schedule, we have the Green Bay Packers facing the Jacksonville Jaguars. And this does not bode well for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence has not played great predominantly all year long. I am picking Green Bay to win this game. I think Jordan Love's going to continue to play pretty well football. Hopefully he does not turn the football over like he did this past week against the Texans, even though it led to a victory. But I still think no matter what, I think Green Bay, Josh Jacobs and company, Jordan Love and company are going to get a victory against Jacksonville. I am going to go Green Bay 31-13. Green Bay 31-13. Up next, we have the Arizona Cardinals going up against the Miami Dolphins. Now, this is a very tricky game because do not know if Tua Tagovailoa is going to be playing in this game. Because as we all know, he has been out multiple weeks due to concussions and lingering injuries. Oh, look at that. William's got the same score. Oh, look at William joining in the picks this week. Very nice for the first time in a while. William has the Packers, or has the Vikings winning 28-14. He has Green Bay winning against Jacksonville 35-17. Oh, this game is so tough to pick. I'm going to go. You know what? I don't feel good about it. I'm going to go with Miami. If Tua is playing, I'm going to go Miami. I'm going to go, if Tua is playing 24-20, it's going to be that close of a game. Up next on the schedule. Oh boy. We have the Jets and the Patriots. Why do you do this to me? Again, I don't feel good about it. I'm going to pick the Jets. I don't feel great about it. I'm going to pick the Jets. I'm going to go the Jets 20, the Patriots 20-16. Next, we have the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Cleveland Browns. And I'm calling this right now, no questions asked. I have the Ravens beating up on the Brownies 35-3. Next, we have the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. Oh boy. Oh boy. You know what? I'm going to go Cincinnati. I'm going to pick Cincinnati. I'm going to go Cincinnati 27-17. Next, we have the Colts taking on the Texans in Houston. I'm going to go Houston to beat the Colts 28-16. Let me see what William has here in the scores. Oh, okay. William has the Cardinals 24-17. And in a shutout, he has the Ravens 38-0. All righty. Like I said, Texans 28-16 against the Colts. Next, we have the Titans in Detroit to take on the Lions. I am going to go with Detroit to roll over the Titans. I'm going to go Detroit. I'm going to go Detroit 37. No, excuse me. 41-6. Up next, we have a NFC South showdown. We had the Falcons going into Tampa Bay in a rematch after a great game on Thursday Night Football in Atlanta, when the Falcons beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 36-30 in overtime on a walk-off Kirk Cousins touchdown. I think the Bucs are going to rebound. I think they're going to beat Atlanta and get revenge on Atlanta. I think it's going to be another competitive game because usually that's what these divisional games are. I am going to go with the Buccaneers to beat Atlanta. I am going to go Tampa Bay 28-23. Tampa Bay 28-23 over Atlanta at home. See if Williams got any more scores. Look at that. Williams got the same score again as me with the Cincy game, 27-17. Nice. He's calling the Texans to CJ Stroud because let's face it, it is CJ Stroud's team. He's got the Texans 28-14. Lions 30. Yep, Lions 30-14 over Tennessee. Bucks 31-27. Very nice. Very nice there, William. Next, we have the Saints going into Los Angeles to face the Chargers to kick off the 4 o'clock schedule. I am picking the Chargers to beat the Saints. I'm going to go the Chargers. I'm going to go the Chargers 24-10. Next, we have the Buffalo Bills going into Seattle to face the Seahawks. Oh boy. This will be a very interesting game. Huh. Oh, this is a tough one to call because you don't know what to take with this Bills team at time, or excuse me, the Seahawks team at times. I'm gonna go with the Bills in a pretty close one. I'm gonna go Buffalo. I'm gonna go Buffalo 27-21. Now, this one to me is the hardest game to pick. This to me is the hardest game to pick. Chicago against Washington on the road. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. This one's tough. This one's tough. Check the scores. 24-10. Saints. Look at you, William. Wow, incredible. He's got the Chargers 24-10. Same score as me. Unbelievable. Nothing yet. Oh, let me look at this one. This is an interesting. Oh man, let me see. Is there any updates on his injury? Oh, this is so tough. Um, okay, so let me read this report. Says the report for Jaden Daniels, his injury is out. Let's see. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, he injured his ribs last night. Um, let's see. Oh boy. Okay. It says that there is no fracture in his ribs, but however, more tests will be done to see how significant the injury is. And I guess with that being said, you know what? I don't feel great about it because this game could go either way. I'm going to go with Chicago. I'm taking a chance on Chicago. I'm going to pick Chicago to win in a close one. I'm going to go Chicago 23-20. Williams picking the Bears 17-14. Let's see. Who you got winning the Seahawks Bills game there, William? Moving on down the schedule, we have the Chiefs at the Raiders. I'm calling this outright. Give me Kansas City. Give me the Chiefs 28-6. Panthers at Broncos. Give me the Broncos to beat up on the Kitty Cats. Give me Denver to do just enough 20-13. Sunday night football. The Cowboys are at San Francisco, or as Hijacker would say, Santa Clara. Oh boy. Oh God, this is so tough. This is so tough. You know what? I don't feel good about it. Their defense can't block the broadside of a damn barn, or their defense can't cover the run. Don't feel good about it. Damn it! Now I'm second guessing myself. Who the hell do I want to go with this? Um, 28-10. William has the Chiefs over the Raiders. Oh man! Oh man! Oh man! Oh man! Oh, this is so tough. You know what? Man, this is so week to week, and their offense isn't great. Offense isn't great. Cowboys. Ah, oh, God, this game is hard to pick. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Uh, eh. You know what? Give me San Francisco. Give me San Francisco. Give me San Francisco 23-16. Oh, Williams got the Niners 20-17. Nice. Do you have a score, William, for the Seahawks Bills game? And the Monday Night Football game, it is the Giants going into Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. And I got Pittsburgh winning this game. I think no matter who is starting quarterback, I think Chef Russ or Justin Fields is going to run all over these guys. I think the Steelers are going to beat the Giants. I got Pittsburgh winning 24-3. And those are my picks for week 8 in the NFL. This should be a very interesting week in the NFL. Looking forward to another great week of sports of NFL coverage this week from the guys tomorrow. I will check out the show tomorrow after I'm out of the Godsmack concert. Again, folks, this has been really cool doing a rare live edition of the sports show here on a Monday night. Again, we are live on most Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, 4 p.m. Pacific at youtube.com/Nation Sports Show. Again, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at ON_Sports Show, Facebook.com/Nation Sports Show. And again, this week, for the first time in quite a long time, you're getting a live double dip action of wall-to-wall sports coverage. I know the guys tomorrow night are going to be covering everything going on in the NFL, the World Series happening, giving their thoughts on the NLCS and the ALCS. And as I talked about, the NBA season begins tomorrow night. Oh, okay. And William has his scores for this week. He's got the Sea Chickens beating the Bills 20-14, and he's calling them the Squealers, obviously being from Ohio. The Squealers beating the G-Men 30-6. And I think that right there covers it all for me today. Thank you, William, for being here in the chat. Thank you to William being in the chat. And for those that tune in on demand, thank you very much. Again, don't forget to tune in to Ezra, to Joey, and to Kevin tomorrow night as they recap Week 7 in the NFL, bring to you the latest breaking wall-to-wall news across the NFL. And don't forget to follow them on their individual social media platforms. At Deadman469 is Ezra's Twitter. Joey's is at roll_tide1992, and Kevin's is at that Niner Gang 10 on Twitter. I am at Steven_Wyand. Again, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Owen_Sports Show, Facebook.com/Nation Sports Show, where we are live this week for a rare occasion on a Monday and a Tuesday back to back, baby. Oh, YouTube.com/Nation Sports Show. Tomorrow, the show will be live at its normal start time at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, 4 p.m. Pacific time. Had it once again to recap. I went to Diamond Rio the other night in Hamlet, North Carolina. Phenomenal show. So glad I got to catch those guys live after loving their music since I was a kid. It was so cool getting to hear Beautiful Mess and Meet in the Middle and Unbelievable. And um, How Your Love Makes Me Feel and One More Day, and just great band. Great band, great band, great all real, all live band. No tracks, none of that crap. They sounded great. They sounded great. Again, it was great catching up with some friends this past Friday at the show. I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. And again, folks, tune in tomorrow night to our Nation Sports Show, live 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, 4 p.m. Pacific, as Ezra, Joey, and Kevin have you covered on everything happening as I covered, giving my analysis this week in the NFL. Thank you for tuning in tonight. For those that watched tonight live as it happened, thank you very much. And to those that tune in on demand, I appreciate that as well. And with that being said, that will do it for me tonight, folks. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the wrestling. Enjoy the football. Enjoy the World Series. Enjoy the start of the NBA regular season as it begins tomorrow with the Celtics and the Knicks and the Timberwolves and the Los Angeles Lakers. Have a great rest of your night, guys. Have a great rest of your week. Enjoy the guys tomorrow night for another edition of our Nation Sports Show tomorrow. Tomorrow night, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, 4 p.m. Pacific. And have a great rest of your night. Enjoy Monday Night Raw. Enjoy the games tonight. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy yourselves with your family and your friends. Make some memories out there with your family and your friends. And oh, I do want to mention this real quick before I get off. Rest in peace to original singer of Iron Maiden, Paul Di'Anno. He unfortunately passed away. He passed away this early this morning. He was not in good health. Battling a lot of health issues over the years, and it just sucks. He was on the first two records, the self-titled record and the Killers record, that both came out in 1980 and 81 respectively. Again, rest in peace to him. He made some great music with the band. My thoughts, my prayers go out to his family. Paul Di'Anno was a great singer in Iron Maiden for the first two records. He got them off the map, off the map onto the map, excuse me. And he did great things with the band with the first two records. Again, rest in peace to him. Paul Di'Anno has passed away at the age of 66 years old. And Steve Harris of Iron Maiden paid tribute to Paul Di'Anno on social media, and the band paid tribute to him. And just very, very sad that Paul Di'Anno has passed away at the age of 66. He was battling health issues. I think he was diabetic. I think he had his legs. I know he was in a wheelchair. Di'Anno was performing. He performed quite a bit of shows with as a solo act in the last couple of years, and just very sad. The metal world has lost a legend in its business. Paul Di'Anno once again has passed away at the age of 66 years old. For those that don't know, like I said, he made the self-titled Iron Maiden record along with the Killers record. He was replaced by longtime frontman Bruce Dickinson on the Number of the Beast record. Again, um, my thoughts and my prayers go out to Paul Di'Anno's family, his friends, his colleagues in the music industry. For those that knew him well, I'm heartbroken of your loss of a friend and a musician in the world of rock and metal. And it wouldn't surprise me at the next Maiden show. I don't have the dates right in front of me, but that Bruce Dickinson will make mention of Paul Di'Anno's passing. And it sucks. It sucks to lose a legend in this business. And I mean, he made some great records. I mean, Wrathchild's a great song. Phantom of the Opera's a great song. Um, God, just Killers, great song. Remember Tomorrow is one of my favorite songs that Paul did with the band. Just great, great records that he left with us. His physical frame may be gone. He may be gone. His body may be gone, but his body of work, his spirit will live on forever. Another great instrumental that he did, or that the band did, is Ides of March. Just, just again, very sad in the rock and metal world to lose a legend in the business. Again, folks, thank you for tuning in tonight. Thank you for tuning in tonight for another edition of our Nation Sports Show. I don't want to go without mentioning Di'Anno's passing. Me being such a big music fan, um, sucks. Just sucks to lose a legend in this business. And he may have not had a long stint with the band in Maiden, but he had a history with that band. And Paul Di'Anno, what I loved about Paul Di'Anno is that he had this punk rock energy with the band. Just uh he had this real punk rock energy with the band. And he brought that energy to Maiden. And I know there are people that were gutted that he left the band in '82 when Dickinson replaced him. But Di'Anno, his contributions to the band will never be forgotten. And I know I've been a long time Maiden fan. I like the stuff that Paul did with the band on the first two records. And he brought such a good energy to the band. And I'm pretty sure Ezra is going to be mentioning this tomorrow on the show as well. But I did not want to go away without the mentioning of the late Paul Di'Anno, who has passed away at the age of 66 due to long health issues that he's had in the past, but he's no longer suffering. And rest in peace. Thoughts and prayers go out to his family and friends. And thank you again, folks, for tuning in tonight for another great edition of the Sports Show. Looking forward to catching the guys tomorrow night as they recap the world of sports tomorrow. And catch us on the social media platforms, wherever you can find us. Like and share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And we will be back. All of us will be back next week on the show. And I'll be back with the guys next week on the show as we cover, as we always do, the world of sports. And looking forward to catching these guys tomorrow night as they give their thoughts. And I cannot wait to hear their thoughts on this Aaron Rodgers press conference, because what a freaking disaster that dude is. Oh, God. God almighty. Anyways, folks, wanted to mention that, wanted to bring that musical topic up because I'm such a music guy. Wanted to pay tribute to Paul Di'Anno. And I felt like coming on tonight doing the show since I won't be on tomorrow. And thank you guys. for tuning in tonight. See you guys next week. Enjoy the wrestling, enjoy the sports, enjoy the World Series, and all of that good stuff. Enjoy the NBA. And again, go out there and make some memories with your family and your friends, all of that good stuff. Enjoy each other's company. Have a great time with one another. But most importantly, be good to one another. And I'll think, or quick, I also want to forget, as far as music goes, congratulations for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductions of Foreigner, Peter Frampton, and Ozzy Osbourne as a solo artist. Dave Matthews Band also winning. That was awesome. Wanted to mention that too as well. Really cool that they got that Foreigner finally went in. Peter Frampton finally went in. Long overdue. Long overdue. Anyways, folks, that'll do it for tonight. Again, tune in tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central, 4 p.m. Pacific, as the guys will bring to you their analysis of Week 7 in the NFL, all of the latest news in the NFL, the NBA, and previewing the World Series and all of that good stuff. And I have been your host for this evening, Stephen Wyand. Thank you to William. Thank you to Trender for tuning in tonight. Again, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Owen_Sports Facebook.com/Nation Sports Show, and where we are live on Tuesdays. And sometimes, like you get this week, 2 times this week. Live on YouTube.com at YouTube.com/Nation Sports Show. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I've been your host for this evening, Stephen Wyand. Enjoy the sports. Enjoy the wrestling. Enjoy your life. And I will see you guys next week with the guys next week as we recap Week 8 in the NFL in preview Week number 9 next week. And recaps the first couple of games happening in the World Series and recapping the latest news in the NFL, NBA, and so much more. Again, have a great rest of your night. Tune in tomorrow night for Ezra, Joey, and Kevin. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend and all of that good stuff. Peace.